Un for sure. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ignorant Experts podcast. I can speak tonight. It's episode 3. It's exciting. Commitment is hard. So Zach won't be here. He unfortunately had to work, as is the life of an adult. Because adulting is hard, and sometimes, most of the time, it sucks. So Seth is rejoining us for episode 3. Fuzz is back from his family trip. How was it, Fuzz?
It was good. I had a lot of food.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Thanksgiving was literally just like last week.
Yeah.
But it was.
Like a long time ago.
Yeah, so without Seth, with Seth being here and Zach not being here, I'm going to be our first expert, and Fuzz is going to fill in as our second for the second bout of that. I have a topic for him. Blace has one for me. Blace, whenever you're ready, what am I the expert of?
All right, so I think you'll have fun with this one.
Oh no.
You are an expert voice actor.
Oh, you're right. I will have fun with that. Oh no, I'm not gonna have fun with that. This is gonna get bad. I need more alcohol. All right. I hate you. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go.
What's the strangest voice you've been requested to do?
Moans.
Can you do them for us? Okay,
Something like that.
No.
Just kind of general like pleasure noises.
Pleasure noises,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like constipation noises. Or
That's
like
That's a different
shock
noise. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's like a.
It's a plot involving you to produce those noises.
I don't know. I'm not a big enough voice actor to have like a lead role. I do just a lot of background noises, or like creature noises.
I see.
I may be an expert, but I'm not very well known. I'm getting my my voice acting career off the ground.
That
Just
doesn't sound very expert-like.
No, I have 7 years of professional voice acting college. I got the degree.
You have a voice acting PhD, is that what you're telling
Sure
me?
do.
Okay. That's entirely believable, and I'm glad we could hire such an expert to talk to you right now.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
So
You
what-
know.
what-
I mean, let's be real. How many of you have graduated college with a degree and were immediately not allowed to work in that field because you didn't have experience? Yeah.
I see.
Next question.
My girlfriend.
See, there you go. Next question.
What is the origin? All right, hold on, let me rephrase this. What is your native origin location that you do voice acting? By that I mean like country of origin. There we go. That's the words I want to use. Country of origin. Are you Japan? Are you American? French? Canadian? African?
French Canadian?
What do we got? What are we talking about?
I mean, I do.
French Cana-
Yeah, I do most of my. I do most of my voice acting for American companies. I'm hoping to break into the Japanese market more. My Japanese is a little rusty.
As a French Canadian voice actor, can you speak to us with some French?
I mean, yeah, I guess. You can go like.
Sacre bleu.
No, well, I'm trying not to be like. I'm trying not to be offensive because my gut reaction is, oh, oui oui.
Oh.
Just like generic.
French voice acting for an 80s cartoon?
Yeah, un baguette. Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Baguette.
Yeah, un baguette. Oh, oui, monsieur, mademoiselle.
Can you give us any lines that you've had?
No, I'm under contract. I can't give you any lines.
Okay.
You'd have to feed me a line.
This is one of the things that I have always wondered about on voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Can you first demonstrate for us and then tell us the difference between the Scottish, Irish, English, and Australian accents?
Oh man, well that can be difficult because each region has dialects. Like there's different like English dialects versus different like Scottish Irish dialects and like.
Sure, I'm sure there's like a general
Yeah. I mean, for like Scottish, you could do like real like they often use like dwarves for this kind of accent, something really hearty and kind of down in the throat a little bit. And then for Irish, it's a little bit more peppy, and you roll a little bit more of your consonants. And for English, it's lots of like dragging out sounds, your vowels, just lots of different mouth sounds, a lot more open. That's what pear, lots of breathy tones.
A little bit of brogue there, yeah.
Yeah. What was the other one? You said Scottish, Irish, English,
Australian.
Australian. That one's a little hard. I haven't practiced Australian in a long time. You do like g'day, mate, something like that. That one's a little bit harder. It's a little bit in the back of the throat, but it's also kind of open, you know? It's kind of like a southern accent for Americans. You know, you kind of do it down here a little bit. It's a drawl. You kind of just put a little stank on it. It's like you do that, but for the British accent.
So, can you let us know any other voice actors you've worked with?
Like Yuri Lowenthal and the Vic Mignogna. Yeah. Troy Baker. Less direct working with them, and more like I worked on projects they worked on. But yes. And my 5 minutes are up. Thank God. You're the worst. I hate you.
I tried to think of the most difficult question I could ask.
You were the worst. I hate you. I haven't practiced anything voice acting in so long. I haven't done my accents. It's bad. I need to get back on it. I used to not be awful at it. Well, that was the first segment. Thank you, Blace. Thank you for that. Cringe. I have to listen to this later. All right, Fuzz.
Yes.
Your topic is not as cringy, but kind of as cringy, I guess.
My body is ready.
What is a let me see if I can say this right. Syphilis. I'll link it. I'll put the word in the Discord, but it's a Syphilis. Syphilis. Where is my Discord? There it is. Syphilis. Yep. You got 5 minutes. Go.
5 minutes. Alright, I'm open. I'm here to answer your questions.
Is this a sexually transmitted disease?
No, it's not. Actually, we get a lot of jokes like that in my profession, but syphilis is nothing like syphilis. Syphilis is actually an ancient ruin that was discovered probably about 5 years ago, but dates back to about 700 BC. And it's really kind of crazy because it has modern English words on it.
So you mentioned that in your field. So what field is it that you come across?
Well, I am a syphilis expert, as many of us are in these 5 years. It's kind of weird, like one of those things where, like, are you an expert if you only have 5 years in, but then, like, nobody else has spent all this time sort of scratching at the dirt like I have and putting things together and trying to figure out what actually was going on 700 BC and how did English get there.
So in Syphilis, did they have beer?
Yes, they had beer.
Evidence of beer.
Always
Evidence of beer exists everywhere, all the time.
Good times.
Yes.
What is life without beer?
Is a basic staple of all societies, both modern and ancient.
So does it have a particular country of origin?
Why, yes, it does. It is found in Egypt, but this is actually more towards the southwest of the Egypt, kind of far away from what we would traditionally think of when we think about Pharaoh and, the pyramids and stuff like this. It's very much far west, and in fact, most of the time when we think about Egyptian archaeology, we think about sand and stuff, but this particular piece of archaeology was found in the middle of an oasis, which makes it rather nice to work there versus other archaeological sites that I've worked before.
So, what was their civilization like?
There's not a lot that we can glean from the artifact. There are some hieroglyphics that sort of depict more of the civilization, but what can be inferred is really quite little. I mean, we obviously know that as most most cultures and societies from that time, there was not a lot of technology around, although apparently they were very good at wheels and levers and such, and actually even had what we would now think of as the Archimedes screw before the time of Archimedes developed for their irrigation purposes. So, an advanced society by their means, although not by ours. So.
I've got about a minute
Can you
left,
give
minute
us
15.
The etymology of the word?
The etymology of the word Siphikas? Well, it's a word that we found inscribed 5 years ago, and that's where it became from.
Okay.
So we're not really sure. That's one part of the mystery is the word Siphikas itself. But I hope that in due time that all of these things will come to light.
37 seconds.
Any other questions?
Yeah, how'd you gain an interest? Like, where'd you first learn about this?
Well, the Siphikas artifact was uncovered, like I said, 5 years ago, by a sister team to a team I was working on at a fellowship at that time in a university in Australia. And so when I saw that they had uncovered this artifact that had the English words on it, I was incredibly intrigued. And so I immediately left the team that I was on and started working with the what became known as the Siphikas team, just because obviously some people may disagree, but to me this seems clear evidence of either time travel or aliens.
That was our 5 minutes. Thank you, Fuzz. Seth, you seem to have muted yourself. Just a quick heads up. Thank you for that, Fuzz.
Yeah.
So, I think I mistranslated just a little bit when I was telling you the word. According to Wikipedia, the all-powerful Wikipedia, it's supposed to be pronounced Shifakas.
Shifakas?
It says they got their name because of their characteristic call Shifak. And I will link you this article so that SHI-FAK. I'll link you the Wikipedia article so you can read it. But that's why I picked it, because it's hilarious. This particular, it's a monkey. The Shifaka is a monkey from their Propithecus genus. It's the lemur from Zaboomafoo. For anybody who's listening, and I don't think I can share images lest YouTube take me down or something. And it's just hard. But if you've seen Zaboomafoo, you're a boomer like I am, or most of us are, then you already kind of know what it looks like. I mean, it's a small monkey that lives in Madagascar. It comes from Madagascar. It is technically endangered, according to, what is this, lemur.duke.edu.
It looks like it was maybe sort like it evolved to live in a colder climate, and then some landmass split, and then it got stuck on a hot island.
A little bit. I mean, it's an interesting creature. Monkeys are interesting because it's not the same thing as a chimpanzee. But I'm sure they too are evil little creatures that swing from the trees.
If they want to throw poop at you, they'll do it. Same with people.
Just as a side note, apparently from this website, lemur.duke.edu, you can send them a present.
The lemurs or the website?
The lemurs, you can send a lemur a present through the website.
What?
And I-
They have an
Yeah, I think
Amazon
that's
wish
probably-
list?
What about a wrench? Like just a screwdriver, just to see what'll happen.
It doesn't say what you can't. I mean, I imagine what they give them will be different, but you could put it on their wish list, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sorry, they have a wish list that you can buy from, so.
Are
Interesting.
you saying, Blaze, that the lemurs will take down the establishment when given a wrench eventually?
Yes.
Did you not see that that picture of the was it a chimpanzee with a spear, fishing with a spear?
No.
Yeah, there was a picture pretty recently of a chimpanzee fishing with a spear, and scientists were like, the monkeys have officially moved, or the chimps have moved into the Stone Age officially.
Oh, well.
Excuse me for that, which is
I mean,
interesting.
can't they fire? Can they fire a gun? I mean, they might.
I mean, they have the fingers for it. If you taught them to do it, they could.
Yeah.
Chimps
Feel
are
like-
like, I don't know, they're
If they were actually like, if they tried to start fires on their own, that's the real. Like, if they like spearfishing is like monkey see, monkey do, but then like if you like brought the fish over and then started a fire and cooked it and ate it.
yeah. Like honestly, I'm not that worried about monkeys or chimpanzees. The primates moving into the Stone Age, because like, okay, we're still in the Steel Age, like, or what is it now? The Enlightenment era? Is that what we're in now? The Golden Age? I'm not sure what it is anymore.
I don't know. We got shotguns.
Yeah, it's like we're still so far advanced. It's not really gonna like be an issue yet. Like once they can start fires, like Fuzz says, and they can start to communicate, like then maybe I'll be worried. But by then, I think the planet will be so screwed it won't matter.
We'll capture them and put them in a lab.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure we still outnumber them. Not to mention we can live in versatile environments, and they kind of can't.
Just so you know, nobody asked me as a Shifak expert, but on the ancient artifact, the inscribement was actually about Harambe in English, but nobody dared ask that question.
How dare? How dare?
So, I just, you know.
She.
I was
She-
imagining something more like Lowell Archimedes was here.
That's funny. Yeah, that would be really funny. Actually, I don't even know when the time of Archimedes was. I assume that sounds pretty Grecian, so I would assume somewhere around the switch from BC to 80. But
Yeah, he wouldn't speak English, unless he was a time traveling asshole. Then he would.
that's true.
Um,
And he,
no, go ahead.
no, I was just thinking about Archimedes, like, actually is from the future, and he traveled to the past to give them technology, but he only gave them very simple things.
He was born 287 BCE in Italy. Yep. It's not Greece. No, wait. That is Greece. Famous mathematician, inventor in ancient Greece. Good call. Well, does anybody have anything they want to talk about? I have one topic, but not much after that.
Did anybody buy anything on Cyber Monday sale?
No.
No, I'm saving my money. I have a lot of debt.
Yeah, you just bought a house. Or you built a house.
Yeah.
Seth also just is buying a house.
Thought about getting a router.
Yes. Seth, it says you're muted. Are you muted? I heard him for a second.
Yeah, me too.
But according
I
to
don't know.
Discord.
Oh,
There you are.
I didn't know if you were like pausing it to like yell at
Yeah.
your wife or something. Oh,
Using those voice acting skills. I'm walking here.
Name it.
I'm doing a podcast here.
Doing the podcast.
I'm doing the podcast.
Now,
It's all right.
you
on this
busted my
episode
balls.
of this old house, we're gonna go get in the car,
Get your car.
drive into the center of
Get-
Boston,
Get your car keys.
get your car keys.
We're all
Go
from
get
the
some
south.
Sody pop.
Some
So-
pop.
pop.
I'm so glad
My
we're
favorite
offending
thing about
everyone
Boston
in Boston.
Is the Boston butt.
Is the Boston.
It's particular kind of meat, and you gotta cook it right, just like a Bostonian does. Lucky for me, I'm from Boston, so I can always do it just like a Bostonian does.
Next week, we're experts on Boston.
It's just Ian.
This just in, we're experts on Boston. Oh no. What is happening, OBS? Alright, we're good. So I wanted to talk about, just briefly, while I was doing some research, I noticed that Wikipedia has started to, at the very top of their webpage, both on mobile and on PC, beg for money. Or maybe not beg, ask for money. And I know they've been like,
It happened a while now.
yeah, well, I don't use Wikipedia that much, so it shows how much I know. But it got me thinking, okay, if Wikipedia goes bankrupt, because they're not really making money off of this. But if they can't,
Whoa.
what was that?
That was my incredulity at the fact that Wikipedia is not making money.
Yeah, right. Well, I was, my question was going to be like, okay, would Wikipedia going under really change anything?
Maybe for like high school students.
I guess. Which I always thought it was maybe a little unfair to have Wikipedia as a thing, but then turn around and be like, well, you can't use Wikipedia because like anybody can edit that. And I was like, yeah, but they have people that monitor it so that the information is at least kind of correct. And I don't know. It feels like a part of my childhood I don't want to lose, but I also am not that attached to it that if Wikipedia went under, I'd just be like, oh no.
I see. Well, just in case you were worried, in 2017, Wikipedia posted a net revenue of $91 million.
They really? I didn't know they were making money.
They're making a lot of money.
How do they make money? Ads? I don't see any ads.
Back deal.
Backdoor deals.
Strangeness.
I guess.
They've got. They
it's
know
just-
the backdoor
Just
stranger.
donations. Yeah, I do know the backdoor
How
stranger.
does Wikipedia. Let's see.
I don't know. But at the same time, like
Donors.
searching Wikipedia for information and looking through Wikipedia usually seems more concise and straightforward than like doing research anywhere else. Because just about every other site I've been on doing research for these topics, you're on the site for 2 seconds and then a thing pops up says that you need to remove your ad blocker or you need to sign up for this email or both. And it's like I literally just wanted to read this one topic. I'm probably never going back to lemur.duke.edu again. Like, I'm not turning off my ad block, sorry.
I see. That's,
You know?
Yeah. I get that a lot. Like New
Oh,
York
back
Times.
off that mic a little bit.
Me?
Yeah, there you go.
You're eating the mic.
Yeah, you're eating the mic super hard.
Sorry. I didn't
No, you're good.
realize. Okay.
You're good. You're good now.
Yeah. No, like, I come across, like, links to New York Times articles pretty frequently, and they have the thing where you can only read, like, 3 articles, and then you have to do a subscription. Every time I come up to that subscription wall, I'm just like, nope, not worth it, and back out.
Yeah, well, not only that, but like who really? I guess if we were doing this like every day, or like every other day, you were using the New York Times readily to get your news, or to do research on topics, it would be worth it. But
Yeah.
If I was profiting from it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. Like, if I was profitable enough doing some kind of research that that required the New York Post and Washington Post and stuff, I would use that for sure. It can't be that much, right? What if it's like a what was the who was the one of the companies that started this subscription thing? There's magazines, right? You get a subscription to a magazine, and then you just forget that you have it, so you just get stuff, and you're like, I don't even want this, but I don't know how to cancel it. It's like, okay, well, the subscription thing is just, you're just losing money on things you don't use. And that's what they're banking on. They're banking on, like, the majority of their people, like, or their constituents just not using their service, but paying them anyway.
They don't even care if you use it or not. They want the subscription.
That's true. It's kind of like gyms.
I
Gyms,
agree.
a gym, like a working out type of gym, their whole model is based on the fact that you're not going to go.
There's only like a few people that like, well, it's a small percentage of people that actually go to gym.
Right.
Have
Well,
membership.
you got like the inrush for all the New Year's resolutioners. And then those guys stop coming, but they have guilt, so they keep paying.
And then like somebody's New Year's resolution is to cancel their gym membership.
Right.
Sorry about that. I feel personally attacked.
I was gonna say that was my thing. I was like,
Personally attacked.
I still have my gym membership.
I'm gonna go someday.
Yeah, I actually need to re-up mine and then go again. I don't know. I'm using the pandemic right now as an excuse not to go, because it's like, I don't want to go to the gym and wear a mask. I'm sure it's not that bad, but
Yeah.
I wasn't going to the gym before, so it's not a valid excuse.
Honestly, that as petty as it was one of the reasons I stopped going. Is like they were doing the mask thing, but they were never checking it, and then one day they just started like, nah, now you have to, even though we've never made you do it before.
Yeah.
This entire time.
They probably got a phone
Anything.
call from somebody.
Yeah,
They
some
didn't
Karen.
want to get a phone call from.
I mean, masks are one thing, but also like those machines, sweat gets places, and you know, I
Yeah.
don't know if COVID can be transmitted through sweat, but I don't want to find out.
That seems like a hard no.
Probably.
Sounds like a party. Yeah.
It sounds like a hard no to me, but I'm not a COVID expert, so I can't give you a definitive answer.
Let me-
Yeah.
Let me touch my face and wipe my nose, and then like, scratch my arm, and then like sweat, and then
Yeah.
touch all this stuff, and
Yeah.
it gets around.
Yeah, no, I agree that if you're not like covering yourself, if you're not being careful, then it could definitely just be bad.
You gotta
sure.
come in hazmat suits now.
You gotta be fully clothed. You gotta wear long joggers. You gotta wear long sleeve shirts. You gotta wear a cover for your face. Or basically just give you the ninja outfit at the door.
You came here to sweat, you're gonna sweat.
It's exactly 101 degrees inside the gym. All of the plates are hot. Good luck. I need you to sign here on the dotted line. Says that we are not liable if you hurt or when you hurt yourself. Good luck.
Not liable when you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Period. That's
You
it.
know what you was getting into. You know it. But I mean, let's be honest. Like, that's what you sign when you sign up for a membership. It basically says that you kind of have a vague understanding of how to do stuff and not hurt yourself, so you can't sue the gym if you hurt yourself. If you drop a weight on yourself, it's your fault. It's not the gym's fault.
Right.
So like,
Well, yeah, I think that's very true. I would, however, like to ease your guys. You thought that you felt attacked by my gyms models by people who don't go. That's the membership model. I'm going to double down on that attack and just say that you don't have to go to a gym to exercise.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's not. I was just an expert on voice acting. I'm not an expert on fitness, so I don't.
I see. Well, let me educate you.
I don't know what you're
I
talking
know what
about.
your topic is next time.
Where's the mute button? Where is the mute?
Right. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Professor Fuzzles. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna
Teach
say,
me.
You don't have to go catch COVID to work out. You could,
Catch COVID at home.
it would be very hard for you to catch COVID.
It's in the water.
I-
It's in the water.
Interesting theory. So you think that there's a water-based
Yeah.
COVID outbreak?
Yeah.
Who's putting it there?
The
guy
CIA.
pooping in the water.
The CIA is pooping in the water and it's giving us COVID.
This has a little bit of credibility. Now,
We're technically all pooping in the water and it's giving us all COVID because we all poop in the water.
you need to find some way to like pass this off credibly, and maybe somebody will believe it.
You know what? When it's my turn to be the COVID expert, I got you.
They eat the COVID and then they poop the COVID. out
Yeah,
in the
it gets in your body, which means it gets in your stomach, gets in your intestines, attaches to your poop, and then you poop in the water. Guess where that water goes? Into the sink. Now they filter it, saying that it's not poop water, but it's poop water.
In a way, you're right. We do drink poop water.
And we're in Memphis. All of our water comes from the same place. The poop goes to the same place. I'm big brain here. It's in the water. This podcast does not reflect those beliefs in any way. That is for comedy. Please, Facebook, be nice.
So,
Nope. Banned.
Here's the question then, like, conceivable conspiracy theories that you could make people believe, but that are also ridiculous.
Ooh.
I believe we talked about this, not on here.
Not on here, right?
Well, that's why we need to do it here.
What were some of them?
Well, we had
Epstein's still alive.
no. We talked about. I don't know about that one. We had talked about coming up with a new conspiracy theory that would be believable. This is existing ones that we could make believable. Let me think. I mean, moon made of cheese would be. I don't know.
That would be hard.
Yeah, you'd have to first prove that we actually landed on the moon and that we collected samples. Nobody saw what I did there. That sucks.
No, I saw it.
Oh, thank you, Fuzz.
I was just having a mental image in my mind of the flag blowing in the wind.
Yeah. And then slowly sinking into the moon because it's made of cheese.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, they went to the moon with a spaceship, and mounted on the side there was a giant fondue stick.
Hell yeah.
And
It's just kebab. It's just a big old kebab. They just stuck that in there. They're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Is that why America was so obsessed, and so was Russia?
Yeah, dude.
America was obsessed because we're fat. Russia
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know how much cheese is in that thing? You know how many Philly cheesesteaks we could make with the moon? How many cheeseburgers? Imagine moon nachos, Seth. Imagine.
But we need a steak asteroid for the Philly cheesesteak.
That's coming. Hopefully it hits us straight on and it's just over. Oh,
Yeah.
Fuzz, I know you watched internet stuff. I don't know about Seth and Blace, but did you hear that now some people on the internet have said that the Mayan calculations for the end of the world were off by about 8 years? That because of like time dilation and the way that we count time versus the way the Mayans counted time, instead of it being in 2012, the end of the world is supposed to be in 2021.
Well,
And that our predictions were originally wrong, and that they actually predicted it correctly. Not that the other 5 apocalypses we were supposed to have, were any kind of indicator. But
see
I'm down.
Where you're wrong, Ryan, is that they didn't have guns, so it's invalid.
That's fair.
The gun is the high point of all culture and civilization.
I see what you did there.
Okay.
That's a gun joke. A bad gun joke at that.
And so, since they didn't have this sort of high-powered kind of analytical skills, then they don't get the pass. They don't have the gun pass. Although they did have projectiles.
The Glock pass, yeah.
So, yeah, block pass.
So you are insinuating that because they were not smart enough to come up with guns, they don't get the end of the world pass?
Right.
Yeah.
To be
we
fair,
got
they were eating people's hearts. Like let's not
people
pretend.
Get guns, planes get guns, trains get guns, boats get guns, birds. I think we can probably give a bird a gun. Bears, you know.
Oh, there we go. Birds are real. Changed my mind.
Birds aren't real.
Exactly, they're not real. That's the conspiracy theory I'm going with. That birds are real. That the birds that we see aren't just government drones, because they absolutely are government drones. The COVID's in the birds, Blace. It comes from the birds.
It's been proven before.
It's in the poop that goes in the water.
That the governments actually do manipulate the weather.
I think that might be true. Where I went to college is all kinds of weird weather. That's next to like some
Yeah.
There's like
government stuff.
some, like actual like confirmation articles that one of the things they do is like they go and try to find certain types of clouds that look like they might be potential rain clouds, and I think they do like a bunch of salt around them, something to produce the activity. Don't quote me on this. I'm not saying.
I thought you were
You
going to
know-
talk about the giant like fake oil rigs they placed out in like the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans that were like supposed to create different air currents to manipulate the weather.
I thought you were going to talk about the time they tried to kill a tornado with a nuclear bomb.
That's how I would do it.
Did they?
I mean, it would
I think-
disrupt the weather for sure.
I mean, you're right.
So I don't know.
You know who else gets the gun pass? People who've made trebuchets.
Elaborate.
No, you know.
Trebuchets clearly superior to the catapult for long-range siege warfare. These people are of the topmost.
Just
I
a
don't-
quick interjection from the past. Hey Zach, I'm sorry that you're not here. Continue.
And that's an interesting interjection.
We're time traveling. No, he just texted me and said that he hates that he missed tonight, and I felt like I should tell him from the past that it's okay and we miss him. In case he listens to this in the future.
Yeah,
We're time traveling right now.
I don't think anybody listens to this except you, Ryan.
That's fair.
From the past, I would like to say that Zach is agreeing with me on trebuchets.
100%.
100%.
I could call him. He probably wouldn't answer, but I could call him.
That's okay.
Note for Ryan when you listen to this: mute your phone, dude.
Adults have work things to do, so we shouldn't call them about trebuchets in the middle of work. 'Cause that's-
Trebuchets are the most important work. How dare you?
First Amendment.
First Amendment?
Yeah.
Trebuchets?
I don't know if trebuchets fall under the right to bear arms. You say First Amendment?
Yeah, the freedom of speech.
Speech, yeah. To
Oh,
call
the-
your friends whenever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Calling them about
First
trebuchets. I thought you meant owning a trebuchet. I was like,
Right, so did I. I was like, that's the
I was like,
Fourth
I'm not-
Amendment?
I'm not sure what the classification of trebuchet is and whether or not you're allowed to have one. I guess legally you could.
I know, they're not even that dangerous. I mean, unless, like,
Oh.
it's a lot of work and it's easy. It's like giant, you know.
Seth, educate this man.
A large counterweight. Seth?
I'm here.
Seth, what are your thoughts on trebuchets, man?
What are my thoughts on trebuchets?
Yeah.
They should come custom built into people's homes.
Oh, that would be awesome in Memphis. Everybody's house with a trebuchet on it.
Nothing would be left standing.
Listen, I would man the trebuchet as a pastime. It would be like my hobby. Alright, I'm going up to man the trebuchet. I'm taking this six-pack with me. I'll be back down at bedtime.
I accidentally pressed the button. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Incoming!
Me a negative of owning a trebuchet trebuchet, and no, launching large deadly ballistics at hundreds of miles per hour does not count as an active.
Loading large, heavy ballistics to be flung at hundreds of miles an hour into a trebuchet.
See, Seth, instead of having it go hundreds of miles an hour, you could have a bigger gun that shoots like thousands of feet per second.
Would you know how many permits you have to have that? For it to be
money.
For it to be bigger than a trebuchet?
Pay enough money and do anything.
Blace, are you saying that we should instead mount railguns?
He's
Something
implying
like
it,
that.
I think. I mean, you could probably make your own if you could get magnets big enough.
Listen, I'm just gonna say railguns on houses is a little gaudy. We gotta keep it classy. Trebuchets is where it's at.
Could almost double as a. You could actually like build it around your chimney. Yeah.
All right, Fuzzy. This is gonna be the deal breaker. Does it come with like a free Scottish accent?
Yes, it comes with a manual on how to have a Scottish accent.
Comes with a kilt and a lesson from me on how to have a Scottish accent.
There's actually a plate. You know, most items have like a plate that has the model number and stuff. There's like a paper-sized metal plate inside the trebuchet that has appropriate Scottish accent words.
How to formulate it.
They come with like the big thick manual, and like at the end there's like a little section on the Scottish accent.
That's right, the Scottish accent section.
What about what about this, Fuzzy? What if you shot a trebuchet with a trebuchet? Like you launched a trebuchet through the air with a trebuchet. Is it possible?
Is that trebuchet also carrying a trebuchet?
It could.
I feel like the physics doesn't work here.
I
feel like-
he's an engineer. Trust him.
No, I feel like the counterweight would just mess you up, right?
It's gotta be attached to the device and possibly. What about we elevate the trebuchet and give it a spring?
I'm very confused.
That's possible. How about this? How about you attach a trebuchet to a trebuchet, but that trebuchet is also holding a trebuchet, but you actuate them all at the appropriate time to give you the longest pull, so you can throw things much further.
See, the interesting part about it, Fuzzy, that we can incorporate modern
Trebuchet time.
technology into the trebuchet and have advanced computer controls, so you can track and know what, what angle your trebuchet is rotating at as it's flying through the air.
Are you suggesting?
And then you can tell it when to release the secondary trebuchet, or I guess it would be the third trebuchet.
My thoughts exactly. Yes.
Some type of trebuchet drone?
Yes.
Like a turret-mounted trebuchet on top of your house that can activate many trebuchets in succession at the right point in time.
When them,
What you're saying is we haven't seen yet is a fully automatic trebuchet.
that's what I was
don't
getting at.
think so. I think we have to do this now.
So have we not? So the question is, have we not reached the peak of the trebuchet?
That would just
Is
be
this
terrifying.
unexplored territory? Well, like
Okay,
how far do you take this before it just becomes like an M60? Like, at what point do we go from, oh, this is just a really fast trebuchet to, oh no, that's just a heavy machine gun?
I don't want to rest until we
Or,
create a trebuchet big enough to launch something into orbit.
What is a mortar if not a trebuchet for missiles? Or
No.
grenades?
See, the whole thing about trebuchets is that they're non-explosive. Right? There's no gunpowder in it. It's just a giant, heavy object. For the most part, I mean, sometimes they throw like flaming balls of fire and giant floating rocks, but still, the idea is essentially that you are throwing something of high mass at high velocity at something and letting physics do the rest. Just completely annihilating your foes.
Fuzzy. Hydraulics.
So
Hydraulics,
hydraulics.
yes.
I feel like if anything, we're getting closer to, and I forget the name. Maybe one of you can help me. It's like one of the. I think it's more like a sci-fi weapon, where I think it's tungsten or another type of metal that if you could get a large enough and a solid enough metal rod of it and drop it from the stratosphere straight down, it'd be the most devastating weapon.
It's tungsten.
Yeah, it's tungsten.
Yeah.
Yeah, tungsten.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably find something else that would do it, like maybe 100 nuclear bomb. So probably be worse.
Maybe just because of radiation.
Bonus damage.
But I'm thinking like along
Poison
the
damage.
same. It's along the same idea, right? Because Ryan's point of like the gunfire to me is an evolution that leads ultimately into like nuclear warfare, versus the trebuchet argument leads more into the other one of like the tungsten rod coming down.
I
Right.
see.
If you used a trebuchet to like javelin throw a large enough rod of tungsten into the air, could you just nuke something?
Possibly. That would be really interesting. I would love to like see like a CERN Hadron Collider level trebuchet armed with a tungsten rod for intercontinental nuclear type ballistics.
You know, environmentally friendly because it doesn't produce the radiation.
I mean, all right, hold on.
It's
Theoretically,
doable, right? 'Cause you can go and get the tungsten rod.
no. Fuzz is onto something here.
Resource.
He's onto something here. If you created like a collider, a little collider, or like a super magnet that you could keep metal rods to, it's basically just a railgun but without the magnets, and just like spin it at as fast as you could spin it, and then release it at the right time at the right angle. You could theoretically just like rovo javelin toss
So,
a rod of anything to just about
So-
anywhere,
So
like a railgun, kind of.
I'm gonna talk over you
Who
here.
is- Okay, go ahead.
In my mind, I'm seeing this as like a wound spring centrifugal force.
Yeah. A mega slingshot or a mega sling. Yeah.
So I could see that. I don't know if you could still call it a trebuchet, but
I would call it a trebuchet.
I don't
So-
know at what point it's going so fast that the air catches on fire around it.
It depends on the material, I guess.
yeah. I mean,
So,
Go ahead, Seth.
I'm going off topic here slightly, but
Thank you.
Ryan, your image of like the electromagnetics just made me think about, and this would be kind of unrealistic, as this entire conversation is, but just having like several different electromagnetic devices that basically surround whatever target they have, and once one launches it, you have one that's directly in the other's path. It essentially catches it and then can fire it again, and so it just kind of like slingshots back and forth.
No, you're thinking of Final Fantasy Advent Children. That's yeah. You're thinking of that scene where they just throw a cloud up like 15 times.
I feel like you would call
Well,
that a counter.
I like the idea.
like a ping pong, like tungsten rod just obliterating an area, just non-stop going back and forth.
So I think I figured out what's the ultimate trebuchet.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So I think the ultimate trebuchet is actually a teleporter, and you just teleport a giant rock into your enemy.
No, that's not where I thought you were going with this, but I like it. I thought you were going to say the ultimate trebuchet is a combination of both ideologies, and it just flings nukes.
So that
So my question here is it that the trebuchet throws something so fast that it like goes at light speed so you can't see it and then it just appears where you want it to go? Or are you literally breaking it down to its like core molecular components and then like shooting those at a speed of light somewhere for them to be reassembled?
Yeah, that one.
That one.
Traditional like sci-fi teleporter. You break it down, you assemble it somewhere else, except it's in someone's body.
You send it, you like break it down to
it's in
photons.
someone's body. We're reassembling it.
Why would you use a nuke? You could just theoretically like ship, I don't know, a piece of wood into somebody's freaking heart. You're just like, well, here's a TV right inside of your body.
I'll tell you exactly what I thought
Just
of
terrifying.
when you said teleportation trebuchet, which is like the portal style. Like you could just set it up so it kept falling through faster and faster
That'd be dope.
and then you just finally take off one end of the portal and it just shoots out wherever you have it pointed at.
I feel like that'd be difficult because your range would be limited, right?
It would only be limited by how long you would. It would be limited by terminal velocity.
Yeah.
Unless, because you're not putting force behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your range would be super limited, but it would still be pretty effective.
Now, what about this, Fuzzy? You take it a little bit farther, and you've got the portal on top and the portal on the bottom, except the path that it's taking through the air is actually through a railgun. So it's like getting accelerated every time it passes through.
Ooh. That would be.
This hurts
that
my
would
brain.
At some point, you would exceed the speeds would exceed that of the electronics on the railgun, and you would reach like a point of like, what would you say, like diminishing returns? But I don't know how fast that would be, but that would be pretty cool.
It hurts my brain to think about.
I'd hate to see the accident during the testing phase.
Yeah, it's like how many times does that fail before you just give up?
Well, I mean, if you're the only scientist working, then it only takes once. But
there you go. There you go. Oh man.
I don't want to be one of the first people to get teleported either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be on that topic for a long time, but I do want to probe you for the teleportation topic just a little bit. Like, are you dead? Or are you not dead? Is it really you on the other end?
Once teleportation exists, will we be able to respawn?
Probably not. I don't know. Are you thinking like Borderlands levels of?
Like if you can break the human body down perfectly and reassemble it perfectly on the other side of like a wall or whatever, then you can technically like store that data somewhere and then copy it and then.
Well, I think that's a different argument than like respawn, like, because they obviously wouldn't keep one person alive forever, because then the human race is just going to be like infinitely growing forever, right?
It would be like Borderlands, except it's a set fee every time.
Something like that, I guess. Like, I just don't see. I don't see us keeping the same ugly people around forever. Be like, you know what? That's your one life. I guess if you can afford it, maybe they just keep a copy of you somewhere to respawn in 1,000 years. But
bro, they'll like be able to make you beautiful.
There's only so much ugly you could fix with what would you call it? I don't know.
Complete facial reconstruction.
Complete facial reconstruction. Fuzz, what do you think? You dead? Not dead?
Well, I guess it depends on how we arrive to the teleportation method. You know, I was thinking about Blace's thought of like storage of yourself that you've been teleporting with. That would only do it if it was like a technological, digital, and electronic teleportation style. But if it came through a different way, like, oh, we discovered this element and it helps you teleport, like, I could see alive. But
I'm talking. They take your body, they break it down into basic elements, turn those elements into like photon particles, or turn them into light, and then jettison that through the universe through a tube, and then reconstruct it.
Not the same person. Dead.
Not the same person. You did.
But you're technically like.
It's technically
alive.
you.
It's just the molecules that were in your ass might be in your face now. You know. It probably won't.
I mean, no, not if they reconstruct you the same way, right? If they put every molecule back to where it was, ideally, in a perfect system.
But I mean, let's think about this. How much energy would it take to both break you down and reconstruct you on a molecular level? Like,
so much that it wouldn't be worth it, I'm sure.
Right.
Seth, what do you think? Dead or alive?
I mean, I've heard this before, like it's been brought to the attention, and I always have to think that unfortunately you did.
You did. Yep.
Think about it, like once you're breaking apart, like even if you're reconstructed and the mind's working, like the argument then is that the consciousness that you're saying it's talking right now that you're personally getting, or is it then become a new consciousness because it's just recreated basically your body for you?
This one sucks. I want a new one.
Yeah. But instead of like your brain transferring, there is a moment when the lights go out and they come back on.
You die.
Who's in the operating seat? Is it you? Or is it whoever's taking your place?
Good argument for the soul.
So then we could have like the conspiracy theories that like the government is planting themselves in your brain when you try to transport.
I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think they're trying to do that now. I think with like targeted ads and like your cell phone and like Alexa and stuff, like I think they're literally doing everything they can, but just chip your brain, which will probably eventually happen. Blaze, what do you think? Alive or dead?
Probably if it's the exact same molecules alive, um,
Yeah, in a perfect setting.
yeah, in the perfect setting. And then if you had to respawn, you would technically have died, and it will be like a completely new body. But if it's exactly the same, it's still technically you, and you're still technically alive. It's just basically a clone.
Yeah.
Think of it that way.
Don't get me wrong, I'm down. I'd be excited for this, especially if they were like, "Hey, give us like $50,000, and we'll rearrange your molecules the way that you want." And you're like, "Well, I just want to have like the perfect body," and they'd be like, "Done. We'll get rid of all the extra molecules you don't need. Boom, you're good." It'd probably still kill you, but
At that point, they're gonna start like experimenting with people and like,
yeah.
can we make your bones out of like titanium or
I would want to
stainless
meet the
steel?
first guy to be successful teleported. Like, if he comes back and the lights are just off, like he functions, but he's just like
he's
not
got,
there.
like, oh, I thought you meant like the lights are off. His eyes are glowing red, and there's like weird demon chants going on.
Zombies music starts. Rip and Tear starts playing in the background. I'm in danger. Oh, we've been going for almost an hour. It's about 56 minutes. I'm willing to keep going if you guys want to, but we've done almost an hour.
It's about time.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
Trebuchets have never reached their full potential. You'll have to unfortunately live with that regret.
Head cannon for the day.
Not until a trebuchet can launch another trebuchet into space, like Fuzzy was saying.
Thoughts that live rent free in my head. Fuzz, anything?
No, I think that was a good thought. I was going to bring it back to something similar. Yeah. In this Trebuchet Council, we've discovered that the Trebuchet has not lived up to its potential, so I like that date eagerly.
Tune in for potential trebuchet builds and more trebuchet talk.
Also, America would be better off if we could have trebuchets.
Make trebuchets great again. You heard it here first. Thanks for everybody for sticking around. Thanks, Seth, for filling in. I'm sure this won't be the last time. We need you to fill in. For everyone's listening, we finally have a Facebook. We have an Ignorant Experts page. I currently moderate that, so you can find us on YouTube and Facebook, and maybe eventually Instagram. I'm not sure if I care that much about Instagram, but we'll see. You can find me at our email, Ignorant Experts Podcast, or you can at me on Twitter at Neoloaf. This is Fuzz and Blace. I don't think you can contact them because. And then Seth. You don't have any Twitter handles or anything, do you, Seth?
I am not on Twitter. I am not on Facebook. I am on Instagram, but I am not popular enough for anyone to follow me.
Follow 901 Bakehouse on Instagram.
Shout out.
Sponsored.
Greatest unknown, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming.
And the swinging